A common misconception, which leads to all sorts of pointless arguments and bad feelings, is that theists claim to know that God exists, whereas atheists claim to know that God does not exist. These two stand at opposite poles to each other, and sometimes hurl invectives at one another. In the middle stands the agnostics, who state that they don't know whether God exists. Those on the opposite poles are sometimes inclined to hold the agnostics in contempt as well, considering them wishy-washy and reluctant to commit themselves one way or the other. But I think this is all wrong. Let's think for a moment about what it is possible to know, and what it's not possible to know. When it comes to knowledge, we are minds trapped inside brains, surrounded by the dark. It is only our five senses that allow us to perceive the world around us. All we can know is what we can see, hear, taste, smell, or feel, and what we can surmise from these inputs. But, what is God? According to Western thought, God is transcendent, wholly independent of, and removed from, the material universe. God is a spirit, an immaterial being that cannot be seen, heard, tasted, smelled, or touched. So, God is outside the realm of what is knowable for us. This is the case with any spirit being, not just God. If I were to tell you that I believe that the spirit of an ancient unicorn is guiding my life, you would have no way to disprove this, and I would likewise have no way to prove it. I may claim and sincerely believe that I have had a divine revelation in which I saw and heard the unicorn in my mind. Or that the unicorn temporarily took on a physical body to reveal itself to me. But that would be no proof for you or anyone else. It would be a private vision of my own, with no validity for anyone else. Such visions can be easily induced by drugs or electrical stimulation of the brain. Hearing and seeing the non-existent is also a hallmark of mental illness. The voices in another's head do not speak to us. Therefore, all human beings are, in reality, agnostics. We cannot know if God exists or not. It is beyond our senses. It follows that no person can know more about God than we do, which is exactly zilch. Theists cannot honestly say that they know God exists any more than atheists can honestly say that they know God does not exist. In reality, theists and atheists are both agnostics. What distinguishes them is not what they know, but what they believe. Outside the circle of agnosticism, the battles may rage. But they are based on an irrational, or we may literally say, a nonsensical, premise. Such discussions we may dismiss as irrelevant. However, within the circle of agnosticism we can have rational discussions as to the pros and cons of believing in God's existence. Neither stance can be definitive. At best, one will appear more likely than the other, to each individual. In such discussions, we all need to stick to the facts as our senses have revealed them to us. A theist must not deny the fact that our universe is expanding, or that evolution has occurred, and continues to occur. There is no reason to repudiate such facts. A belief in the existence of God does not require a static universe or a non-evolving world, any more than it requires a flat earth. People get caught up in such pointless debates due to a fundamentalist belief in the Bible. But millions of people believe in God without believing the Bible to be inerrant. Likewise, an atheist must not deny the fact that a belief in God has brought, and continues to bring, comfort to many people. In this episode, we have tried to show that arguments about the existence of God are futile. In our next episode, we will examine something quite different: the pros and cons of belief in a particular God,